Welcome to Inside the Pickle Jar, a podcast where we dive into the wonderfully quirky world of neurodiversity. I'm Tonya Weaver, your friendly neighborhood relationship coach specializing in neurodiverse individuals and neurodivergent myself. From communication tips to managing those "did you really just say that" moments, every episode will share real-life stories, expert advice, and practical strategies to help you tackle obstacles and build stronger, more fulfilling connections. Listen on to Inside the Pickle Jar, where every connection matters, every pickle has its place. Welcome to Inside the Pickle Jar, where we explore the intricacies of life and uncover solutions that work for you. And today we're diving into the fascinating world of executive function, how neurodivergent individuals, they struggle with it, and the ways they can turn these challenges into strengths. So let's get started. What is exactly executive function? Well, in simple terms, executive function refers to a set of mental skills that include working memory, flexible thinking, and self-control. And these skills are crucial for planning, focusing, remembering instructions, and juggling multiple tasks. For neurodivergent individuals, like those with ADHD or autism, executive function can often present unique challenges. So we're going to dive a little bit deeper into executive function, but we're going to first break down the key components. Executive function consists of three parts: working memory, inhibitory control, and cognitive flexibility. Working memory is the ability to hold and manipulate information in your mind over short periods. And inhibitory control is the ability to control impulses and resist distractions. And cognitive flexibility is the ability to switch gears and think about things in different ways. So, depending on where you are as a neurodivergent individual, you can see how some of these executive functioning pieces might be wired a little bit differently for you. And for most of neurodivergent individuals, these areas can be particularly challenging. So imagine trying to keep multiple pieces of information in mind while being bombarded with sensory input, or attempting to stay focused on a task when your brain is naturally wired to seek out new stimuli. It's like trying to juggle while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. So here are some of the struggles with executive function. We're going to talk about some of those. For example, task initiation. For neurodivergent individuals, getting started on a task can feel like climbing a mountain. The transition from rest to activity, it's a significant hurdle. The brain might find it difficult to shift gears, which leads to procrastination or avoidance. And I don't know about you, but I definitely will procrastinate, especially on like the really simple things like taking out the trash. So this can be frustrating because once you get started, they excel in the task at hand. And then you get frustrated and think, well, why didn't I just start this to begin with? It wasn't that hard and it only took me like 10 minutes, but you made it a much bigger problem than was necessary in your own mind. So one solution is to use techniques like I've talked about in several episodes, like the Pomodoro method, where you set a timer for short bursts of focused work, and then that can overcome the initial hurdle. And then you can use like your breaks to go, okay, at this break, I'm going to go take out the trash. And then there's organization and planning. The executive function, those skills required to organize and plan effectively, might not come naturally. Keeping track of multiple tasks, deadlines, and responsibilities can be really overwhelming. Neurodivergent individuals might struggle with creating a structured approach to their work, leading to chaos and missed deadlines. You have this idea for a solution to a problem or how you want to build a report, and you might work on this piece or this piece or that piece. And if you aren't used to planning, you can end up like spreading out the deadline because you're waiting on your own self to get pieces done. So this disorganization can contribute to stress and anxiety. And sometimes using visual aids like planners, calendars, whiteboards, task lists, those can provide structure and clarity. And I personally rely on these a bunch, especially the calendar piece. So as far as time management, Sometimes they're difficult on estimating how long tasks will take, and then allocating the time effectively can be a challenge. Neurodivergent individuals might find themselves consistently underestimating or overestimating the time needed for tasks, especially if you're doing what I call spinach work and you end up overestimating because it feels way bigger in your head and then you get done way faster. And this mismanagement of time can result in rushing to meet deadlines or spending too much time on less important tasks, and that makes you really inefficient. I use batching to solve some of this for myself, which is setting specific time slots for tasks and using alarms or reminders to help manage your time more effectively. And then there's just the self-monitoring that's involved. Being aware of your own performance and making necessary adjustments can be difficult. Neurodivergent individuals might struggle with recognizing when they are off track or when a particular strategy isn't working. And this lack of self awareness can lead to continued ineffective practices and the inability to correct course, especially when it's needed most. So, regular check ins and reflections on progress can enhance self awareness and allow for adjustments. And then you can also schedule in the breaks that I mentioned in some of the other solutions above. This is used a lot in project management. You can go Google things like Scrum, and that is where instead of just having these long deadlines that are 3 or 4 months out, you have short-term deadlines that you do every 2 weeks. And then you can check in and reevaluate, are you on the right track? And is this a lot of times when you're dealing, as I have in IT, when you're talking with a customer and they have needs or you're trying to meet someone else's expectations, you might work for a couple weeks and then check in and go, this is where we are. Are we still on the same track? So some of the problems around not having good executive function is around emotional impact and the struggles that you have with your emotional with your executive functioning. It can lead to feelings of frustration and inadequacy. So the constant battle with executive function that also causes self-esteem and mental health problems. And it's important to remember that these challenges don't define you as a person, and many neurodivergent individuals have found some pretty innovative ways to navigate these obstacles and harness some of their unique strengths. So let's talk about turning these challenges into strengths. You can leverage your hyper focus. Of I can get once I get in the zone and I'm hyper focusing, it really is I get in the flow and that really helps. And hyper focus is the ability that many divergent individuals have, particularly those with ADHD. This state allows for intense concentration on a task for extended periods, and that often leads to high productivity and very detailed work. And by identifying the tasks that benefit from this level of focus, and then allocating time specifically for them, individuals can harness their hyperfocus on a powerful tool. For example, creative projects, complex problem solving, and detailed research can all benefit from hyperfocus periods. And one thing I want to mention here too is understanding your own dynamic. Are you a lark, meaning you work better in the morning, or are you a night owl and you work better at night? If you're aware of when those things are true for you and you are better at hyper focusing during those times, then you might save some of those creative projects, the complex problem solving, detailed research that I mentioned, and do those when your hyper focus is best utilized. So then also you can use a bunch of apps. So if you utilize technology to help you, there are a lot of apps and tools. AI is coming out that can really help you also. And those are designed to assist with executive functioning skills. And these technologies can bridge the gap where executive function might fall short. For example, there are time management apps. Tools like Trello, which is a board that I actually use with my podcast producer, where we can keep track of all of the cards that we're managing for a specific project. Asana or Todoist, they can help organize tasks and projects. And these apps allow you to create to-do lists and they set deadlines and track progress. And there's a new one that's just really being talked about, or at least I'm being targeted for all of the advertising right now. I think it's actually been out for 2 or 3 years, but it's called Motion, and it uses AI to design a more efficient calendar to get projects done and help with focus. So you kind of just throw everything out that you have going on for the week or that's on your calendar. And Motion is supposed to design your entire calendar so that you get things done the most efficient for yourself. And then you can get like bigger projects done in chunks. Then there are a lot of reminder apps besides your phone that I use a lot for myself. There are apps like Google Keep and Apple Reminders that can send notifications for important tasks and events. And that ensures nothing slips through the cracks. If it weren't for my calendar, I would miss so many appointments and deadlines. I put everything into my calendar and I use it as a reminder app, even things like workouts, social events, and commuting time. Like if I have to travel somewhere for a meeting, I have to remind myself I also need commuting time or I will book myself too tight. And I'm gonna show you a video later about how someone else uses their calendar. And then there are the calendar apps, which I talked a little bit in the previous note, but digital calendars such as Google or Microsoft Outlook, that's the one that I use the most, can help manage the schedules, set your appointments, and plan ahead, especially protecting your calendar. So something else that you can do as far as these utilizing, besides utilizing technology, is that you can create your own structured environment. It's really important, I think, especially for myself, to establish consistent routines and structured environments. And that provides stability and predictability. And those are really beneficial for neurodivergent individuals. So that might involve like a dedicated workspace, someplace where you have a specific area for work that is free from distractions, and it helps signal to your brain that it's time to focus. I actually have I have a regular day job and I work at a corporation, and I have a desk set aside for that and it has everything set up the way I like it for that. But then I also have my podcast studio and that is set up and it keeps me very focused. I also do a lot of my executive coaching here because I'm very focused and it signals to me that I'm doing a very specific thing. But I also have an art desk and I don't mix those things because it helps set my mind and emotions in a place that I can do the things that are most important to me at that moment. And then visual schedules, you can use visual aids like whiteboards, planners, digital schedules that outline your daily activities and tasks. These visual schedules make it easier to see what's coming up and help you stay organized. And then there's breaking tasks into smaller steps. Uh, Large tasks can be super overwhelming. And so if you break them into smaller, manageable steps, that makes them more approachable and less daunting. And this also allows for a sense of accomplishment with each completed step. I even call them micro steps. So I would really love to play the ukulele. I haven't started that yet. It's a big long-term goal, but I know that in anything like that, if I do little micro steps and I say I'm going to do these 4 micro steps this week, then I've actually completed one big step, which is a step towards my bigger goal. So we'll talk someday about how to break things into micro steps, but I find it incredibly valuable in getting to where I need to be long term. And here's another important, we've talked a lot, I have talked a lot about for the neurodivergent community is getting support. You really need to build a strong support network, and it's just really essential. Having people who understand and respect your needs and can provide encouragement and practical assistance, it helps support your mental health. And these might be family and friends that you can share your goals and challenges with, and they can offer emotional support and they can hold you accountable as well. Then there's professional support. So consider working with therapists or coaches or counselors who specialize in neurodivergent individuals. And me, can provide tailored strategies and guidance. And then look for support groups or meetups, either on in person or online, where you can connect with others who share similar experiences. These groups offer a sense of community and shared understanding. So, by leveraging these strengths and strategies, neurodivergent individuals can navigate your and our executive function challenges way more effectively and turn them into opportunities for growth and success. It's all about finding what works best for you and building on your unique strengths. But you kind of need this three-pronged approach in order to get there. So let's talk about some real practical strategies for enhancing executive functioning skills. So we talked about doing things like breaking tasks into smaller steps or even micro steps, using visual aids like the visual schedules, charts, and lists to help keep track of tasks and deadlines, and also for setting clear goals. But there are other ways to train your brain to find calm and get grounded when you feel more flustered, like practicing mindfulness. That's one step. If you can practice meditation and improve your focus and self control by training your brain to stay present, it's really a lot easier when it gets into the moment. You can get back in your body, remember what it was like when you were feeling still because you practiced it. And then establishing routines can help keep you centered and on track. Consistent routines, those reduce the need for decision making and can help provide that stable environment. And then timers and alarms. Timers can help manage time efficiency and effectively and help keep you on track. I use this technique frequently and I set timers on my phone to go off all the time, like just before a meeting. It's a really critical one for me. Many times when there's a meeting only 7 or 8 minutes away, you think, oh, I still have almost 10 minutes. And then I get busy working and I lose track of time. And then before I know it, I'm 10 minutes late to the meeting, all because I forgot to check my clock on my computer. And so if I set a timer for just 1 minute before the meeting starts, then I know I won't miss it. I can relax my brain and not stop worrying about and getting distracted with the time check. And then I can just get in the zone. I can hyper focus where I'm really comfortable doing that. And my alarm reminds me that now it's time to dial in. Otherwise, I'm just constantly checking or I'm forgetting to check it all. So there's all of this, what I've been talking about, problems with executive function, but what we need to remember is that when we do it right, we do it really right. And we should celebrate all of the neurodivergent successes. And it's really important to do that. Many have not only overcome executive function challenges, but have excelled in their fields and used it to their advantage. There are some very successful entrepreneurs and artists and scientists and advocates who are neurodivergent and have used their unique perspectives and strengths to make pretty significant contributions. Neurodivergent individuals just have a way of thinking and problem solving that's different, and it can lead to innovative solutions and creative breakthroughs that might not emerge from a neurotypical mindset. For instance, many autistic individuals have exceptional attention to detail and pattern recognition skills, and that can be invaluable in fields like mathematics, science, and art. So, the journey to success for neurodivergent individuals often involves overcoming those significant challenges related to executive function that we've talked about, including sensory processing as well as social interactions. And these individuals, meaning me included, develop strategies and tools to navigate our environments. And that demonstrates resilience and adaptability. The achievements are a testament to all of our determination and ingenuity. And there are numerous examples of neurodivergent individuals who've made significant contributions despite their having to overcome all of their own executive function problems. There are entrepreneurs like Richard Branson, who's the founder of Virgin Group and who is dyslexic, and Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA. They've openly discussed their experiences with dyslexia and ADHD, and their ability to think outside the box and take calculated risks has been a driving force behind their successes. And then there are artists like Vincent van Gogh and Andy Warhol, who are believed to have been neurodivergent. We didn't have those diagnoses when they were alive, they've left a lasting impact on the art world with their unique styles and perspectives. And then there's scientists like Temple Grandin, an autistic professor of animal science. She has revolutionized livestock handling systems, and her ability to think in pictures and understand animal behavior has led to humane and efficient designs. And there are advocates out there like Greta Thunberg, who has been open about her Asperger's syndrome and have used their platforms to drive global movements. Her unwavering commitment to environmental activism has inspired millions around the world despite being neurodivergent. So these success stories highlight the importance of embracing neurodiversity, which is being neurotypical or neurodivergent and helping the two combine. And when society recognizes and values different ways of thinking, it can foster an environment where everyone can thrive. And this includes creating supportive workplaces, educational systems, and communities that accommodate diverse needs and strengths. This is of great significance for society. Celebrating these neurodivergent successes challenges the stereotypes and misconceptions about neurodiversity. It shows that neurodivergent individuals are not defined by their challenges, but by their potential and their contributions. Their successes inspire others and demonstrate that with the right strategies and support, everyone has the capacity to excel. And then by celebrating these achievements, we acknowledge the value of neurodiversity and encourage a more inclusive and innovative society. And it's a powerful reminder that diversity in thought and experience enriches us all. If we were all the same, if all the ice cream were the same, all we'd ever get would be vanilla. So these individuals show that with the right strategies and support, neurodivergent individuals can thrive, and they highlight the importance of embracing neurodiversity and recognizing the value it brings to our society. So Simon Sinek, I talked earlier about calendars and planners. I really wanted to share his perspective. He is neurodivergent as an ADHDer, and he is the author of great books like Start with Why and The Infinite Game, and he uses scheduling extensively. Not only does he use it, but he protects it. So please listen to the following conversation where he talks about how he uses a schedule. So I just wanted you to have an opportunity to share with you what Simon says about his schedule. And that's why it's really important, especially if you're struggling with uh, keeping your focus in check or keeping your distractibility in check, which is kind of the same thing, that you build your calendar so that you maximize your focus, you maximize your ability to do the things that you want to do, and then keep your spots on your calendar open for when people do need to meet with you and build some flexibility. So, just to wrap up, executive function is a critical set of skills that helps us manage our lives effectively. And while neurodivergent individuals may face unique challenges in this area, they also possess unique strengths and capabilities. And by understanding these challenges and leveraging strategies for success, neurodivergent individuals can not only overcome obstacles, but also excel in their endeavors. So, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Inside the Pickle Jar. I hope you found these insights helpful and inspiring. Remember, everyone's brain works differently, and that's a beautiful thing. Embrace your unique strengths and keep pushing forward. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit. Also, again, check out the links in my show notes for Simon Sinek's YouTube video. And if I can help coach you through how to improve your executive function, for example, providing coaching you through time and productivity improvements, or help you build your network, please reach out through my website at risingtidecoaching.org. And then also, you can find me on social media for more insights and updates. You can sign up for my newsletter called Taco Tuesday, where I share tips on productivity and personal relationships. Each week, you'll receive exclusive content on tips, content and tips, and updates straight to your inbox. And it's a great way to just stay connected, continue our journey together. So you can also do that at risingtidecoaching.org. And then I'm also slowly converting all my podcast episodes into YouTube videos. So if you prefer that format, you can find a link to my channel in the show notes. I didn't record many of the early episodes with any video. I didn't have the foresight to think I would ever do a YouTube channel. So I've just included some background stuff to watch while you listen on those early episodes. This particular episode, I'm now beginning to record video and audio together. And of course, with my guest, I have video and audio as well. So you can watch those on the channel. So until next time, keep it simple and stay focused.